Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. Okay, so in our last episode, we started on Sten's companion quest about his sword, trying to find his missing sword. We traveled down to Lake Calenhad by the docks, and we found a scavenger who was picking over an old battle site, and it turned out that that was the battle site where Sten and his comrades were overwhelmed by the Darkspawn, and where Sten lost his sword. And it turned out that that scavenger didn't have the sword. He didn't know where it could be. All he suggested to us was that another scavenger by the name of Farron, which is this red-headed guy over here, had already picked the sites clean and had headed off to Orzammar to sell what he could. So we journeyed up to the Frostback Mountains, and we are just outside of Orzammar. In fact, there in the background are the gates that lead into the subterranean city of Orzammar. Anyway, we spoke to Farron, and Farron said that, while he was on his way here to Orzammar from Lake Calenhad, he actually stopped in Redcliffe Village and sold the Kunari sword to Dwyn the Dwarf. Now, we know Dwyn the Dwarf from the Battle of Orzammar. Actually, we kind of bullied him into helping fight the battle. Or, Orzammar. Redcliffe. We know him from the Battle of Redcliffe, and we bullied him into helping to fight that battle. So, going to go ahead and head off that way. And, hopefully the quest is not bugged. Now, it didn't update in the journal. It still says to talk to Farron. And from what I read on a couple of different forums, that is normal. It does not update and tell you to go talk to Dwyn. Now, I had tried to do this previously in another episode where I was trying to play and my game crashed, and I was not able to obtain the sword from Dwyn, and I don't know if my game crashing had anything to do with it or not. All I could find on the forums was that, no, the quest journal does not update. Talk to Dwyn, and it doesn't really matter what options that you take, because there's several ways of doing so. But you can either obtain the sword directly from him, or you can obtain a key from him that will open a chest. And anyway, when I was trying to do this before my game crashed, I got the key, but I couldn't click on the chest that was supposed to be the one where it was at. And I read on the forums that there's supposed to be a couple of different chests in his house, and I only saw the one. So, like I said, I'm hoping that the quest is not permanently bugged for me in this playthrough. I've never had any kind of issue with it before. But, yeah. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and head over to Redcliffe now, and we're going to talk to Dwyn and see what happens. Okay, so here we are in Redcliffe once again. Keep having to come back to Redcliffe for various reasons. And there's Dwyn's home.
It is begun.
Phew, some fight. Reminds me why I left Orzammar in the first place.
You know, I could still use your help with some darkspawn.
If I wanted to fight Darkspawn, I'd have stayed in Orzammar. No thanks.
Ah, whatever. Okay, anyway, that's not really why I'm here. I am looking for the Kunari sword you bought, actually.
Now, why would you be interested in that?
It's mine.
You know, Farron didn't mention the giant he took it from was alive.
So why don't you give up the sword and we'll go.
Excellent idea. It's in my strongbox. Here's the key. Now, why don't you leave me alone?
Okay. So, let's see here. Dwyn's lockbox key. And yes, we can click on it. We couldn't click on it before. Oh. We're not only going to take Sten's sword, we're going to take the malachite, the quartz, and the 2 silver that he's got in there as well. Poor Dwyn. It's no wonder the guy hates us.
Go celebrate or whatever you have to do.
So, anyway, yeah, I know I kind of pushed you into doing it, but thank you for helping with the battle anyway.
Hey, anything for Redcliffe, right? Whatever. First thing I'm gonna do is get some sleep. For about a week. Go celebrate or whatever it is you're gonna do. You won, right? You're a hero. Or something.
Okay. So. Alright, well, now that that is taken care of, gonna go back to the camp. Okay, let's see here. Now, if I remember correctly, yep, it comes in the form of a gift. So, in order to give it to Sten, we have to actually give it to him.
Strange. I had almost forgotten it. Completion. Are you sure you are a Grey Warden? I think you must be an Ashkari to find a single lost blade in a country at war.
You're welcome, Sten. What are friends for anyway, right?
I would thank you for this, if I knew how. And I could deliver a much more satisfying answer to the Arishok's question if the Blight were ended. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. Thanks for staying on.
Then lead the way.
Wow, nice. Sten approves. Plus 14. Very good. Very good. What is she doing over here instead of over there in her usual spot?
Do you remember our discussion?
Yes, of course.
I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. I didn't want to admit it, even to myself, but those years in Lothering, I yearned for the freedom and the recklessness that I knew in Orlais. The Maker made the world beautiful, but he also made it dangerous. To really experience it, I have to embrace this, not hide away in some nunnery.
You know, I don't think you were meant for a cloister. I don't think you ever were.
Sometimes, it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves.
No, we'll take that one. That might lead to something else. It was my pleasure, Leliana.
I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you.
+4. I'll take it. Wait, Weren't we over there by Sten when we started this conversation? That was just weird. Mr. Alistair,
What do you need?
I want to ask you something.
Ask away.
Tell me something. Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry so much?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you wearing it. All I've seen you ever wearing is your Grey Warden uniform.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
So, what's the real reason, Biddy?
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Well, you could always make something up that's more exciting.
You know, I like the way you think. You're all right. If you're really curious, then I'll tell you. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al-Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Yeah, there's something about the feel of a blade in your hand, isn't there? I think I understand.
Using the abilities I have came after years of education and discipline that was difficult to achieve, if rewarding. The sword training and religious doctrine all came later. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
You know, at one time I would say I knew where my clan grows is home. But anymore, you, Liliana, Morgan, Zevran, Shale, you guys are my home, or my clan. So, home is wherever camp is. We're travelers now.
We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good, either way.
No, I don't think so. They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Alistair approves, +3. Alright, so... go bug Morgan some more.
Yes,
I'd like to ask you something.
if you must.
Can you teach others to become shape-changers?
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
Fair enough.
It speaks.
I'm not sure what I would have expected, but I would think I would have expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, master, I exist to serve the master. I shall kill for the master and only for the master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You're very sarcastic.
I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
You know, being different isn't so bad. Different can be a very good thing, actually.
Did I say it was bad? Huh. It thinks I hang on its every word, waiting for approval. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
I agree.
Imagine the benefits. No need to eat or sleep or perform other functions. Walk underwater, crush the heads of every opponent. The possibilities are limitless. Barring the occasional 30 years or so of paralysis, there's little to compare. Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
Shell still approves +6. I'll take it. Should answer some questions.
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
That's what you said the last time. Do you have any more adventures to share?
Again? Well now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once.
That sounds like fun.
Haha, you have rather macabre tastes, I see. I like that. Let's see, how about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Osrin. Did you hear of that down in these parts?
Don't be absurd. I'm Dalish. We don't hear much about politics in any of the human kingdoms.
Prince Osrin was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Osrin once and for all. I was in one of those cells.
Is this sort of thing common in Antiva?
Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part.
So what did you do?
My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history.
You're very lucky indeed, Severn.
It's true. I live a charmed life. One of the prostitutes that raised me was a fortune teller. Said I wouldn't die young. She was rather startled by that. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh?
And +1. Well, I guess it's better than nothing. Okay. So, I think we have talked with everybody. Let's go see if Bowden has any rumors to share with us.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me.
Heard any rumors?
There's terrible news. Everyone is talking about a battle in the north between Loghain's men and Ban Bronik. The Ban was utterly crushed. Someone told me that he was meeting with Loghain to talk terms, but I don't believe it. Surely Loghain would never attack someone attempting to parley. That's
Been
what
done
I've heard
before.
on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Anything else?
Tern Loghain has announced that whatever happened to Ban Bronik will happen to any other nobleman who doesn't live up to the oath he swore to serve the throne. There's a lot of folks angry about it. Some of the Banorn who weren't saying anything are now saying that Loghain is trampling on their rights as sovereign lords. Seems like more fighting is inevitable at this point, doesn't it? Sad state of affairs. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
How about anything else?
There's news come out of Redcliffe at last. Seems that Arl Eamon has come down with some deadly sickness, probably the blight, and he may even die. If he does, that probably means no one else can stand up to Tyrn Loghain in the Landsmeet. Rather fortunate turn for Tyrn, no? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
How about anything else?
Arl Wolf has gone to Denerim to plead his case with Tyrn Loghain, I hear. West Hills has been hit hard by the Darkspawn, and Wolf wants the fighting over the throne to stop. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. I hear the Dwarven King is passed on. Old as he was probably poisoned or assassinated. That's how the dwarves normally go out, isn't it? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. There's been another clash of forces, this time north of Lothering. Both the Benorn and Loghain are saying that they won this clash, so we're not sure exactly what happened yet. From the sounds of it, I think the forces accidentally crossed each other and began fighting. What a bloody mess. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Okay, so... I should go.
Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
Okay, I've done some inventory management, and I'm going to go ahead and pick a party, and we're going to head back to Orzammar. And I think this time I'll take
Indeed.
the girls and Zev.
Yes.
Random encounter.
Right ahead. Right ahead.
Very well.
That's one for me.
Okay. Gonna have Zevran take care of looting and all of these traps, unless he can't disarm them. But he needs to upgrade his skills, so I'm going to give him the experience points. It was actually pretty cool having both rogues in the party, especially now that Zevran has the high ability with the mechanical expertise, because between the two of them, they pretty much spotted every single freaking trap in this battlefield. Like, right off. So I was able to easily avoid them, which was rather nice, not walking blindly into traps for a change.
This won't take long. As you like.
And I believe that's everything. Gonna do a quick tab look just to make sure. Yep, that is everything. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do quick save too, just to make sure. All right.
You've been out to the market. There's not much to be had.
There isn't likely to be more anytime soon, that's for sure.
Neighbour fled the city yesterday. Thinking of going myself.
Where to? They'll stop those darkspawn soon enough. Just you watch.
I demand you insult all of Ferelden. King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
Vieta! This land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
I have important business in Orzammar.
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
I have urgent need to talk to your king.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
Look, I'm a Grey Warden. This treaty obliges Orzammar to aid me.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
That's enough. Raise your blade if you're so tough.
I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
Enemies approach!
Okay, so I really hope that you are putting Crushing Prison around that mage, Morgan. Fools.
I shall do it. As you say.
Injury kit, those always come in handy.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Fair journeys, Warden.
If only you had come at a less troubled time.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
Wow, harsh. Guess we can't get back there to look at the others.
They say the Darkspawn have left for the surface.
They have.
May the ancestors look kindly upon you.
I imagine you have already composed a suitable ballad to commemorate the events at Redcliffe, Leliana.
Why would I do such a thing?
You have taken up your instruments once again, have you not? So to speak. A bard takes events of great import and puts them to tale.
What happened at Redcliffe was horrible. So many people died, and they were violated by unimaginable evil forces.
That was not so difficult, was it? You may wish to add music, however.
You make it sound as if you enjoyed what happened there. I can barely stomach to think of it.
But we were successful in the end. Victory without cost has little worth.
I just think of what that poor little boy went through. No, I don't want to glorify what happened there.
Then who will learn from these events? I would think on it some more, were I you.
You know, Leliana, Morgan actually does have a valid point there. And really, there's a big difference between glorification and telling a cautionary tale. Key to the city. While your concerns have merit, the Assembly has made itself clear. Space within the Tig is at a premium, but the intended function of the Hall merits the additional resources committed. The statues of the Paragons must be the core of the Hall of Heroes. There is no other placement that so benefits dwarven interests. It is the first glimpse that surface ambassadors have of Orzammar, an introduction not just to our living ancestors, but also to the stone from which we were born. They must see it shaped before they can understand the complexity of its raw form. The hall must also serve a second purpose, as a last sight for departing brethren. Those who choose to leave must do so with the heavy gaze of their ancestors at their backs. It is a reminder of duty and consequence. We will promote all manner of trade, but also reinforce that those who leave for too long will return as strangers to the stone. From a report of the Assembly Zoning Commission.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew.
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Do not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Whoa. That was unexpected. Or I should say intense. And I think I just realized something that I've not noticed before, or it hasn't really clicked. But the guy who got killed, I'm pretty sure that he was a guard.
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order.
Can a city function like this?
See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry.
The proving?
Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate. The true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
I may do just that. But right now, the Blight is coming and I need Orzammar's assistance.
Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here.
Yeah, I think I should probably get going.
Yes, you should.
Yep, another long one.
So, if the legend of your mother is true, Morrigan, does that mean that the legends of her many daughters are as well?
To be honest, I have no idea. I've never met any sister of mine, nor has my mother spoken of any.
But it could be true, yes? If you exist, there could have been others like you.
Long ago, perhaps. Why?
We have legends of witches in Antiva. One that tells of a witch of the wild, traveled far from her home to settle in the Tellery swamps.
And? You thought I might know this woman?
If one legend can be true, why not another? Who knows how many Morrigans are scattered about Thedas, hmm?
It's not something I'd like to contemplate.
Oh? You do not appreciate a little competition from a half-sister or two?
Silence, elf. It is none of your concern.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive.
This Balin, is that King Indrin's son?
Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir.
And what do you know about this Lord Harrowmont?
Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont.
Is Harrowmont qualified to rule?
He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less.
Did you know the late King Endrin?
Only as a potential match for one of his sons. He was a good king, stern and fair and just.
How did he die?
He died in bed after his eldest son was murdered, and the Assembly condemned his second son for it. I cannot blame him for preferring to join the ancestors in eternal peace, if Balin didn't murder him himself.
Why such hate for Balin?
Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along.
Who are you exactly?
I am Narav Helmi, third daughter of the second matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger? What brings you to Orzammar at such a time?
I'm Narian, a Grey Warden, and I'm here seeking aid.
A Grey Warden? That explains why they allowed you past the gates. What kind of aid do you mean?
I have a treaty compelling Orzammar to aid against the Blight.
A blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. I'm sorry, stranger. I fear there will be no aid for you in Orzammar. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, I suggest you talk with his trusted advisor, Dulin Ferender. He might be able to get you an audience.
Orzammar welcomes the Grey Wardens.
One day the Paragon Branco will return. Oh, and on that day...
I miss old Indrin. He was a good man.
What happens if the Assembly never picks a king?
The great Paragon Branca will never return. The ancestors have taken her from this world.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Who, me?
You look like you're not from around here.
You could say that. I am an elf after all.
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
The Circle of Magi?
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Why wouldn't they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
Interesting. So, what do you want with the Circle then?
I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
What would the messenger get? That's a long journey, you're asking.
What do you mean? Oh, you're looking for payment. My father's shop refines lyrium for smithing. If you help me, I'm sure I could get you some.
Okay, well, if and when I ever get a chance to speak to the first enchanter, then I will talk to you about it. Or talk to him about it.
Wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Yeah, it could be a while. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. It's probably been at least a half an hour already, and I don't want to get too far into Orzammar. Because otherwise I'll get started doing quests and then who knows how long it'd be. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm blah 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 blah. Sorry about me stumbling all over my words. So yeah, I'm gonna end the episode here. So I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.